Hello guys, welcome back to another video. In this video we're going to be talking about how we can use weekly and daily MSNR levels to predict a storyline. We're going to go a little bit deeper into how do we know whether a level or a storyline or a bias is going to hold, and whether we're going to be looking to trade bullish or whether we're going to be looking to trade bearish, because simply that's what we're here to do. We need to have a bias in order to look to take a trade. Okay, so as you can see here on the line chart, we've got a red line and then it transitions into a blue line and then we transition back into a red line. So the red line represents weekly price movement and blue represents daily price movement. So the two main MSNR levels that we are using for direction is weekly MSNR and daily MSNR. Okay, say it in the name, the weekly MSNR is just off of the weekly candles and the daily is off of the daily candles. So in order for us to start an MSNR cycle or a storyline, we need to first come into an MSNR level. So as you can see here, we come into a weekly MSNR level, we come down, we wick down, and then we close above. Okay, these lines on the chart as well, they represent the line chart. Okay, you can do that by just clicking this little thing here and lines. Okay, and then if we just quickly move down, you'll see the line chart. Okay, we'll get onto why we use that shortly. I believe I've gone over it quickly in the past, but just as a heads up. Okay, so anyway, so this is a line chart and we've wicked down into it. Now we've closed above. A close above usually signals that we are going in that direction. However, we also need to see a QM. Okay, I know this is funny because we do look for QMs for liquidity. However, when we run into a level, we are looking for a QM on a higher time frame to confirm that we're going in that direction. Now, what are we looking for? Okay, if we're looking for a daily level, okay, we need to see an hourly 1H, but if it's a weekly level, we need to see a daily. Okay, so if it's a daily level, we would just need to see a H1QM here. However, if it is, say for example, a weekly level, we would need to see price come up into here, take this high out, and then that is when we would assume price is bullish. Okay, amazing. So that's confirmation that we are basically going in that direction. So what happens now? Okay, well, we now start to look at daily price movement. So we're looking for daily MSNR levels for us to reach our goal. Now, where is our goal? Our goal is the next weekly MSNR. Okay, so we will be going off of these daily levels here and looking for our H1QMs to signal here, or, you know, we can look for risk entries, which we'll talk about later, obviously, blah, blah, blah. But we can be using these levels to anticipate when we're going to be getting those pullbacks. Okay, so here we say, for example, there was a daily level here, price taps it, you know, it does its wick thing, taps into it, comes down. This is a daily level which we could anticipate from price to continue this leg. So is this flip level. I believe you learned about those in the previous lesson. Okay, I can't remember which order I put them out in. Okay, we then come up into here. Now this is a daily level, so this could actually produce a little end of day trade maybe, and then we go higher. Or it could produce just one down day. Okay, next thing. Okay, we create this daily MSNR, but we don't tap it. We probably react off of this flip level. Who knows? Okay, we come into here, we close for it, and we've finally met our objective. As soon as we tap into here, this is pretty much our objective met. However, price could carry on going higher. Okay, so what is our confirmation to know that a new storyline has changed? We obviously need, because it's a weekly level, that daily QM. And you get that there. Okay, and from there, we've just followed daily MSNR back down. Down to the next level, which is this one, it created. Okay, so let's go and have a look at this on some real-time charts. Okay, so I've picked us some really interesting price action to go over. There's quite a lot of up and down, back and forth from weekly to daily. So hopefully this will give you a really good idea of what we're looking for. So to start off with, we've got this weekly MSNR level. This level here was created so like that. And then since then, we've not really actually had that tap in with a miss. Yeah, again, you'll learn about what a miss is later on. So if this is confusing you, just don't worry too much about it. We'll talk about that later. But this tap in here is the first valid tap in for me. So from there, okay, we've closed above. Okay, so we've already had that closure above. Okay. Have we had that daily QM yet? No, we haven't. Now, how can we go about possibly getting within this day's move? Okay, because our daily QM, if we have a look on the line chart, would have to come from us breaking that high. And for me, that's a lot of price action to miss out on not getting into a trade. So how could we have got into this trade? Well, it's simple. We could also look for a daily level. Is there a daily level here? Okay, so we've got a daily level. Yeah, if I just make this a little bit bigger, we've got a daily level under this weekly level. So this is what we call a high probability zone or a congestion zone, because we've got two congested zones. So now, because we know that, we can just simply hop down onto the H1, price taps in, we look for where's our most recent QM. Okay, well, we take this low and we take this high. From there, we are now bullish, so we can now be following the daily, the weekly storyline, and we can use the daily levels to go higher. Okay, so our next daily level, we've got one here, okay, and we've got one here, okay, and the daily levels in this, I'm just going to colour them, we'll keep them orange for now. Usually I use H1 in these colours, but for now we'll just keep them orange. So price comes into here, and then there's no level. So even still here, we can still be looking for trades following the H1 storyline, because this is a daily level. So we looked for the H1 QM, and we can then be looking for levels to be taken. However, we need to be following our weekly direction, which is bullish. Now, one thing we actually haven't done is identified our first level where we could be looking for a short from, and that would actually be this low here, as you can see. And then we've actually also got this one here as well, which hasn't been tapped. And then finally, this one up here, I believe, which hasn't been tapped. No, that one has been. Okay, so this is really, these two levels are our levels that we're looking to go and target. So for all of this, we're just looking here, all of this until we reach this or this, we're looking to go along. Okay. Now keep in mind with what I said, price can pull back from daily zones, so keep them marked out. Okay, we were going to put them in the H1 colour just for now. Okay, so here's the question we've got to ask ourselves: are we bullish or are we bearish? Okay, well, we've closed below, and have we had a H1 QM? Okay, again, we look on the line charts. Have we had a H1 QM? Yes, we have. Okay, we've QM'd there on that low. So from now, we could possibly take some trades down into some daily levels. Okay, what daily levels could we take? We could either take this level here. We've got a gap level here. So let's see. Okay, so price did come down. If we go down onto the H1, price did come and we reacted from here. However, we came to a higher level, but because we've still got that QM there, okay, because we still got that QM there, and we know that this is a liquidation of the previous day's high, we could possibly look to go short here following that storyline through. However, if we have a look here now, after this day, we couldn't because the day closed through. So that storyline of price being bearish is now done. Okay, keep in mind as well, within these days here, we could have still been looking to trade bullish. Okay, we could take both sides of the argument. yet again, here we're only looking to trade bullish now after this day. Okay, and there we go. The next 2 days were bullish. So you could have been just looking to follow the ride up like so. So with that being said, now we've hit this weekly level. As you can see here, this is at weekly level. We need to see, what are we going to do? We need to see, 1, will the weekly close below it? And 2, will we get that daily QM? Until we get that, we could possibly look to go and take some longs, or conversely, we could possibly look for shorts as well. Okay, now why could we look for shorts? Well, you see this level here is a daily level, and if we go down to the H1, did we close below it? Go to the line chart, we have this high. I believe so. I would say we are on the daily bearish. However, on the weekly, we are still bullish. And as you can see, the next daily candle is bearish. So yeah, I went a little bit too quick there. Okay, so keeping an eye on what the weekly target is, we have we had that daily QM yet? No, so we haven't had a daily QM yet. So there's no reason why we can't still be looking to trade bullish. Now we need to actually think past this zone, and the next level that we could be looking to take would be this flip zone here on the weekly. This is a really nice level for those who have traded inducements before. We have a really nice daily inducement here. So as you can see here on the line chart, there you go. Okay, so yeah, again, like I said, we could trade bearish for that day. However, is there anything that we can look for to go long from here? Well, this first gap level doesn't have a miss, so we can't look to trade from that. Okay, this level here does have a miss, so we could possibly look at that one, and we could possibly look at that one, and this one here. However, this is just one of those days where if you don't get in on a trade the day before, just price is going to really blast through your levels. I don't even believe there was a trade to take. You could have possibly looked to take a trade from here at London, at the start of London. But overall, in my opinion, there wasn't anything worth taking on this day for shorts. So this would have been a day where you'd probably hit daily loss limit. I'm going to be one of those gurus and say there are days where that happens, but it doesn't happen often. Like you had all these days of perfect bias. One bad day's not going to be bad. So anyway, we're looking here. You know, we tap into this level, looking for that H1QM. Okay. So if we have a look here, is there anything really in terms of MSNR? Well, this is the last MSNR, so we've actually closed back through this here now. So we could be looking for longs again, as long as we have that H1QM. And there we go. We have that H1QM. I believe this was actually on an FOMC day. So we've closed through now. Obviously, would be looking for longs up until this daily MSNR. However, another thing that I'd be thinking as well is I'd be thinking, well, we've got this daily MSNR here. We've got this MSNR. I don't think this is going to really hold, because if you have a look here, we've got this level here, and the weekly is still bullish. But this is when we need to really pay attention and have a look. So we've closed below that level. Okay. And I'm just waiting and looking for that QM. Okay. Keep in mind, until we get that, we're still looking to trade bullish. So we're looking to trade bullish, take bullish trades through the day. Okay, and there you go, bullish trades. So for me now, I probably wouldn't be interested in the QM off of this level. So I'll just say this is a level that we're not interested in looking at. Price has then come up into here. It's liquidated that. Okay, so you probably could have gotten some really nice trades in and around this place here. And then you could have looked to hold them all the way up there, which would have been a really nice trade. Now, in terms of this here, okay, we've got a daily level here. I believe this is. Yeah, so we've got that daily level. We close below it. Do we get that H1QM? Okay. So as you can see here, we haven't got that H1QM up until this. Okay, if we have a look here, you can see that we take out that high there. Then we take out that low. So we could have got into something probably in and around here, maybe. Let me quickly just have a look. So anything worth taking? Probably not, but you could have probably actually got in up here off of something when we teach you about the entry styles and the risk entries. We'll talk about that at a later date. But yeah, so price ended up going down after we got that QM. Yeah, again, just following suit. And now we go back to the daily, and it's actually tapped into this level here. Okay, so this level got closed through, so this is a flip level. And you can see now we've got quite a few equal highs above here, so price should really come up here. Beg my pardon. So price taps into here. And we don't get that QM yet, so yet again, there's possibly trades that we could be looking to take based off of these levels here, off of liquidations and inducements to then target lower. Let me have a look here. Yeah, again, once we got that QM, the next day should be bearish, and it does actually tap into here. And then from here we close above. I'm just going to do this a little bit quicker now, just so you can actually have a really good understanding of how easy it is. It's really easy to plot this. Next day we got that QM, next day was bullish. And then yet again, we're having a look here. So this is actually the next MSNR. Just yet again, if you're confused, just keep checking back to the line chart. It's the best thing to do. Okay, always as well, try keep your charts tidy, because that will help you in the long run to not have 101 lines going all over the place. Keep in mind, we've actually still got these untouched levels down here, so just keep that in mind. Okay, so price actually taps into here eventually. So even on this bearish day here, you know, we would have still been looking for bullish opportunities. I believe it was this day, if I just get my session breaks on. Yeah, it was this day here, which was a bearish day. Or was it? Oh no, sorry, it was this one here. Yeah, so we had this bearish day. There would still have been opportunities to look to buy, I believe, in and around here. So definitely not a day wasted at all. Okay, so anyway, let's see, do we get that QM yet? So this is why we use the line chart for our QMs, because right now there's not been a QM. Okay, so for me, I'm still bullish. Okay, so we could still be looking, in theory, to be taking trades from here. Probably won't record anything on that because that's crazy. Let's have a look at the 5-minute chart on it quickly. Yeah, definitely not. Possibly something on these, on the return to this here, but would have been hard in my opinion. So now you can see, yeah, so there was no QM, so no need to be looking for bearish trades. Just keep looking for bullish trades, simple as that. Okay, what do we tap into now? Bang, that weekly chart. Sorry, that weekly MSNR level here. You can see here on the weekly. So now we need to actually wait for that daily push down, or we could actually identify a daily level here. Again, this is something I'm going to teach you shortly later for risk entry. However, this closes through, so we're probably going to go higher. That's usually the rule of thumb. This is the next level. Okay, if you're confused why I pulled them out, that's a flip level, that's an original level. Okay, and you can see there, bang, we closed below. Check the H1, we've closed, so now we're bearish. So even though we're not bearish on the weekly, we're bearish on the daily, and the daily will build the weekly, because if I just quickly push this forward, you can see what happens there. Bearish week. Hopefully that has cleared it up for you guys. You know, just following the weekly and the daily, use your brain. I mean, if we even just quickly explore this piece of price action, so we closed below here. If we actually rewind it, we closed below here, we messed around for a little bit. What did we come up into here? Ooh, nothing here. So this, sometimes you get pieces of price action, which just doesn't really make sense. Probably reacts to something lower here on the H4 or the H1. Can't be right all the time. However, this is now a flip level. We closed through that. Okay. So what next? Gap level. Okay, so this is a gap level. Do we actually tap that, or is that a scam? So sometimes you got to actually see if we have tapped them, and you can see here. If I zoom into it, you can see we've not tapped that there yet. So still bearish. Oh, wow. I did not mean to do that. But you can see there, from us still being bearish, we actually still close below that. But what do we close above? The close of this. So now we're bullish. Okay, well, we're not bullish. We need to wait for that H1QM. But we can still look to take risk trades on this. Okay, probably not that late. There we go. We get the H1QM. We're bullish on the daily. And for the rest of the day, that's bullish. Okay. Next couple of weeks, it's bullish. Oh, sorry, next couple of days, it's bullish. So now we tap into this level. Here we close below. The next day will probably be bearish. Do we have that H1QM? I believe so. We took this high out. Let's took that low out. Yeah. So I've had that H1QM. So I'd be predicting on the next day being bearish. There you go. Played it right out. So hopefully that's put some faith into MSNR. If you've got any questions on it, feel free to shoot me a DM and then move on to the next video where you'll be learning about what a miss is. And yeah, see you later.